Tatchakshurdevahitam purastat shukramucharatam Pashima sharadashatam Jivima sharadashatam Srinayama sharadashatam Prabhavama sharadashatam Adinasyama sharadashatam Dau shantihi Antariksham shantihi Prithivi shantihi Apa shantihi Oshadhaya shantihi Vanaspataya shantihi Vishyadeva shantihi Brahma shantihi Sarvam shantihi Shantireva shantihi Same shantiredhi. From Yajurveda. O Lord, thou art pure and self-effulgent, we adore thee. May you live happily for 100 years. May our speech, my eyes, our ears, strong for 100 years. May all our senses was clear and strong for 100 years. May we never be overcome by weakness. O Lord, whatever peace is in the heaven and the sky, whatever peace dwells in earth and water, whatever peace resides in herbs and trees, whatever peace abides in the gods and Supreme Brahman, whatever peace can be found in all other things, may that peace come unto us. May that peace come unto us. May that peace come unto us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. This morning our subject is fear, its cause and cure. Coronavirus created tremendous fear in the minds of humanity. We are distancing ourselves so that we can protect ourselves from this contagious disease. The whole world has almost stopped functioning. All airplanes are grounded, all public transports are stopped. I was thinking about Pralaya according to Vedanta philosophy. Pralaya means dissolution, destruction. According to Vedanta, there are various kinds of Pralaya. First, Nitya Pralaya, daily dissolution. All human beings dissolve, destroy this whole world every night in deep sleep. When they get up from bed, from sleep, again the world appears. This is called Nitya Pralaya. Second, Khanda Pralaya, partial destruction, dissolution. Some years ago, I went to Hawaii and found a section of the island is completely destroyed by volcanic eruption. All black lava came out. No human beings are there. Even I saw this sand, black sand beach, all black. One part, one section of the world is destroyed. Sometimes we see in the Midwest tornado or hurricane, how they devastate a certain part of the country or the place and the people. That is called Khanda Pralaya. Mahapralaya, cosmic dissolution. According to Puranic calculation, there are many, many billions of years this Mahapralaya comes. They say that Brahma sleeps one day and awakens and awakes one day. Brahma's awake is the creation. His sleep is dissolution. That is called Mahapralaya. There is another kind of pralaya called Atyantik pralaya. Atyantik pralaya means total, complete annihilation, destruction of the world. How? A knower of Brahman destroys this universe from the mind forever and he merges into Brahman, one without a second, where there is no creation. That is called Atyantik pralaya. So yesterday when I was thinking about this lecture, I invented a new pralaya. I call it Karma pralaya, which has been created by coronavirus. If we find this world locked down, homebound, all activities stopped. Some people, of course, working from home, but mostly no action. This is the destructive power of pralaya, corona. No action, no dissolution. Do you know what does it mean? No jobs. No jobs, no food. This virus, this karma pralaya, will bring a lot of starvation. People have no job, no food. Many people die, directly and indirectly. Moreover, it will create a tremendous. We recently read a minister in Germany committed suicide. We watch the helpless condition of the world's political leaders, and despite their efforts, they are helpless. People are dying. I was watching in New York. People are dumping dead bodies in the truck. Very sad. We are confused and passing through a very uncertainty. No one knows when these things will stop. We are not seeing any light in the other side of the tunnel. It's really a difficult situation. This fear of corona has been impregnated in the minds of people. When I go to the street for walk, people are making distance from each other. This fear will continue for a long time until we find a medicine which will cure this coronavirus. Perhaps you remember, many years ago, there was people in our village I saw, people are afraid of tuberculosis, pox. People are afraid of AIDS, polio. Now, there is a medicine. It can cure those diseases. So people are not afraid anymore. So until we get the medicine or vaccine, whatever you may say, against this terrible disease, this fear will continue in our minds. According to Patanjali, our past karma decides where we shall be born, how long we shall live, and how much happiness and misery we shall encounter in that particular life. Everything is predestined to some extent. So what can we do? We can pray to the compassionate Lord to save us from these calamities. Give some new ideas so that our scientists can invent a medicine quickly, so that we can get again fearlessness in our minds. It is extremely, people cannot live in fear. It is impossible. All the time, fear, fear, fear. That is not right. That is not normal. Sometimes we see good come out of evil. Perhaps some good will come. Let us wait and pray. Anyhow, that is my introduction. Now I shall start my topic. Fear, its cause and cure. I can answer only in one sentence. The cause of fear is the ignorance of the Atman. And the cure is the knowledge of the Atman. Bas. Self-knowledge will destroy this fear. Let me first start with the Upanishads. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we find in the beginning of this creation, the first being was Hiranyagarbha. Brahman, from Brahman comes Ishvara, God. From God comes the Hiranyagarbha, sum total of subtle bodies, and from Hiranyagarbha comes Virat, the sum total of gross bodies. So this Hiranyagarbha is Prathamaja, this is the firstborn being. When it evolved, the Hiranyagarbha evolved, he was afraid. My goodness, I am alone. Generally, we see people when they are alone, they feel fear. Then he was thinking, why should I be afraid? I am one without a second. The moment this knowledge came, the fear disappeared. Moreover, he found that people are not happy when they are one, alone. So, Ditiyam Vaichat, he wished the second one, companion. And thus the creation began. It is in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Again, we find the another part of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yajnavalkya was telling Janaka, Sabha Isha Mahanaja Atma, Ajaro, Amaro, Amrito, Abhayo, Abhayambai Brahma, Abhayambai Brahma Bija, Abhayambai Brahma Bhavati, Ya Evam Veda. I sometimes repeat this verse. A Atma, the great Atman, Aja, birthless. So, Amara, because it has no birth, it has no death. It is deathless. Ajara means it has no disease, no decay. Atman, pure consciousness, has no corona. No disease, no death. Amrita, eternal. Abhaya, fearless. Abhayam by Brahma, this Brahman is fearless. Abhayam by Brahma, Veda. The person who knows this fearless Brahman, he becomes completely fearless. According to Vedanta, fear comes from ignorance, avidya. And that comes from duality. When we see in darkness, we see a rope. Actually, it is we see a snake, but actually it is a rope. So we superimpose snake on the rope, so we get scared of snake. But when we bring the light and see the rope, the fear disappears. So when we see the truth, Brahman, God, fear goes away. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Anandam Brahmano Vidyana Viviti Kudashana. When a person experiences this blissful Atman, Brahman, he is not afraid from anybody. He is not afraid at any time. Kadachana Kutoshana. Kadachana means never, in no time. Kutoshana from anyone. Fear completely disappears from the knower of Brahman. The Upanishad tells us the real cause of fear. Real cause of fear is not knowing the self. Raso Vaisha says Brahman is full of felicity, bliss. Who could inhale, who could exhale if that blissful self was not within us? The moment we see far away difference from myself and from the Atman, fear comes. And when we experience the Atman, fear disappears. We start in the Katha Upanishad. Mrityu sa mrityum apnoti yaya nanaiva pashyati. That person encounters, experiences death after death, death after death. The person who sees variety, multiplicity, diversity in this world. So, the unity of knowledge, knowledge of oneness, is the antidote of the fear. Let me tell you our problem. We do not like to lose our individuality. Nobody wants to die in this world. We see every day so many people die around us, but we never feel that we shall ever die. That is the wonder. We love ourselves, the Atman. Brahma Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Taditat priyo putrat priyo vittat priyo innasmat sarvantarat antaratamam yadayam atma. This Atman is dearer to the sun, dearer to wealth, money, dearer to friends, relatives, dearer to everything else. This Atman we always love. And that Atman, we do not want to lose. Do you know what that means? It means this I consciousness, I, and that Atman, this individual self, when it vanishes into cosmic consciousness, we lose our identity. And that we are scared. Let me give an example. You will understand what I am talking about. Swami Vivekananda came to Sri Ramakrishna and asked, Sir, have you seen God? Yes, I have seen God. I can show you also. Sri Ramakrishna touched Swamiji's chest and immediately he experienced the whole building was moving around, was rotating. Doors, windows, everything, house, everything disappears. And he was merging into that cosmic consciousness. He cried out, Sir, what are you doing? What are you doing? I have parents at home. I have family, all these things. Swamiji cried out. He could not take it. He experienced that his individual consciousness is going to dissolve. You see, we love our individuality. We do not want that our individuality should die. As I say, as Swamiji experienced it, even the yogis are afraid to lose their individuality. It is in the Manjukka Karika. I love this verse. Asparsha yogo vai namo durdarsho sarva yogi bhi yogino bibhoti asmat bhayena abhayadorshina. The knowledge of birthless non-duality is called Asparsha Yoga. It is hard to attain. The yogis even are afraid of it because they see fear of that which is really fearlessness. I goes away. We think that is death. Let me give another example, perhaps it will clear more. Ramakrishna told 3 dolls went to take bath in the ocean. The first doll was stone doll. It took bath, came out, that is ordinary people, no change. Cloth doll went to take bath in the ocean, soaked into the water, immediately it was so heavy it could not walk and dissolved and stayed on the beach. The third doll was salt doll, went to the ocean to take bath. The moment it touched the ocean, it dissolved. That is the Jnani. And salt doll is the devotee. It is a very beautiful example. What I am talking about. That salt doll dissolves. We do not want it. Very few people can take that thing that my eye should go away. Patanjali, the father of yoga psychology, mentioned about fear. Avidya, asmita, raga, desha, abhinivesha, iti pancha klesha. There are 5 kinds of afflictions to human beings. First, ignorance. Second, egoity, I consciousness. Third, attachment. Fourth, repulsion. Fifth, clinging to life. This clinging to life means fear of death. Morantrash, Obinivesh. May I never die. May my relatives do not die. May I never lose money. May I never lose my home. You see, we do not want to lose anything. This wish is inherent in all human beings, Jnani, Ajnani, everybody. Nobody wants to die. It proves the truth of reincarnation. We have the experience of death in previous lives. Otherwise, how do we know? It is painful, it is fearful. Patanjali gave a lot of explanation about this subject. Avidya, ignorance is the avidya avaran shakti. It is the concealing power. It covers the Atman. Second, asmita. It projecting power. I, consciousness. There is the problem. Third, raga. The thing which you love gives me happiness. We are attached to those things. Then desha, the thing which you do not like, we hate it. We avoid it. Obinivesh means clinging to life. We do not want to die. We are afraid of death. Patanjali says, how can we overcome this kind of fear? Samadhi, meditation. Dhyana hiyas tadvrittayaha. Patanjali says, through meditation you can stop all this ignorance and these 5 things which I have explained to you. It just stops. It removes from the mind. And the mind merges into Samadhi. So meditation is the remedy of Patanjali, that you can get rid of this fear. The Upanishad tells us the knowledge of Brahman can destroy fear. Patanjali says meditation and Samadhi can destroy the fear. Next is another way to get rid of this fear. Bhartrihari is sage king, wrote 3 books, Shringara Shatakam, Niti Shatakam, and Vairagya Shatakam. 100 verses on worldly life, 100 verses on morality and ethics, and 100 verses on renunciation. In the book on renunciation, Patanjali mentions this verse, which I sometimes repeat it. Bhoge rogabhayam, kule chuti then bitte nipladbhayam, mane dainyabhayam, bale ripubhayam, rupe jarayabhayam, shastre vadibhayam, gune khalabhayam, kaye kritantadbhayam, sarvavastu bhayannitam bhuvi niram vairaggameva bhayam. Which is verse 31. This verse tells us where is fear. He found fear in 9 places. Bhog. If you do too much enjoyment, you will get disease. Kule chuti bhayam. Cool. Family prestige, this and that. That I may lose my status. Suppose a person is very bad habits, drunkard, gambler, his family members want to get rid of him. So he is afraid. Or perhaps if he does some immoral work, the society will get rid of him, will denounce him. That fear remains in the minds of that people. Cool. Then, kule chutivam, then bitte nipaladbhayam. If you have too much money, you are afraid of the robbers, or the king will take away my money. In this country, IRS will take the tax. That's all. Bitte nipaladbhayam, mane dainyabhayam. If you have prestige, you are always afraid of losing prestige. If you have physical strength, those who are wrestlers or the boxers, they are afraid of their opponents, that somebody may defeat me. My enemy will defeat me. If you have fantastic beauty, you are afraid of old age. You will see, of course, in this country, they go for cosmetic surgery, Botox. But age will come. You will not have to wait. Botox cannot save your lives. Shastre Badibhayam. Before a great scholar, you are afraid that my opponent can defeat me. Gune Khalabhayam. If you have many good qualities, you are afraid of scandal. Somebody may spread a scandal against you. Kaye Kritantadbhayam. If you have a body, you are afraid of death. Bhartrihari concluded, Sarvabhustu bhayanitam. Everything in this world is fraught with fear. Vairaggameva bhayam. Renunciation alone makes one fearless. So Patanjali says the antidote of fear is renunciation. That is a very good lesson of the Vedantic tradition. This world we love. We love to live in this world. In the Mahabharata, in this Triparvam, we find a beautiful, just a vivid, a graphic description of this world and the human beings. We are chased by the wild animals in this deep, dense forest. A man was chased by a lion. He ran and fell into a well. He did not see the well, but that well was covered with some creepers. So he grabbed those creepers and went below. So it was in the middle of the well he was hanging. When he looked down, he saw crocodiles, snakes, And when he looked up, he saw the hungry lion was looking at him. So below death, above death. And there was a beehive on the top of that well. And from there honey was dripping. And this dying man opened his mouth and was sipping that honey. That is the way the Mahabharata described the true nature of this world. Death below, death everywhere. But what shall we do? Before death comes, fulfill your life, achievement, conquer death. You can conquer death only through self-knowledge. There is no other way. No other way. There are many kinds of fear we feel in our day-to-day life. Fear of divorce, fear of losing jobs, fear of disease, fear of not having children or bad children, fear of losing money in a stock market. How shall I pay my rent, mortgage? Fear of accident. Some people imagine all sorts of things and get fear. What will happen in my life? Who will look after my old age? Do I have sufficient money for retirement? Who will look after me? Some are paranoid. In this way, we create fear and fear and fear in our minds. Endless. Endless. Some people brood and imagine and become more than they think that is real. In that respect, our Vidyaruna Muni gave a beautiful remedy of fear. It is a beautiful verse. Jad abhavi tad abhavi. Bhavi chet tad nat anyata. Iti chinta vishognu vayam. Bodho brahmani vartaka. What will happen? That will happen. What will not happen? That will not happen. This knowledge will destroy the poison of thought about worries and anxieties. And it will remove the false knowledge. Let me repeat again. What will happen? That will happen. What will not happen? That will not happen. If you have this knowledge, then you can get rid of this poisonous thought of worries and anxieties, which burns human beings all the time. There is a saying in Sanskrit, the funeral pyre burns body only once, but worries and anxieties burn body all the time. So what shall we do? Face the brute, face the devil. If we run away, that is not the answer. We shall have to face it. This situation has come, coronavirus, we will have to face it. There is no other way. You may stay in your room, Lord knows, some food, something, it may come to you. There is no guarantee, anyhow. In this respect, I remember that story of Swami Vivekananda. During his itinerant days, he was in Benares, went to visit the Durga temple. And that temple outside, many monkeys. When Swamiji came out from the temple, a lot of monkeys chased him. And he was running and running to get away from those monkeys. Then a monk from a distance shouted Swamiji, "Face the brute, face the devil. Don't run away." Immediately Swamiji faced the monkeys and the monkeys ran away. Swamiji told this story when he was lecturing in America. Face the brute, face the devil. Don't run away. We'll have to face it. some people have fear of ghost. I remember Swamiji was very much mad if any parents or tell the stories to the children about ghost, the ghost stories. Swamiji said, why are you creating fear, putting fear in the minds of these little children? Give them stories of the strength, fearlessness. Those stories are better. It is not right to impregnate this fear in the minds of the kids. I remember ghost story. When Totapuri, Sri Ramakrishna's guru, was an Aura Brahman, lived in Dakshineshwar under the Panchavati Grove. One night when he had a dhuni fire. So he was meditating and a Brahmadvaita, a Brahmin ghost appeared before him. Totapuri said, who are you? The ghost said, I am the spirit. Spirit, sit down and meditate with me. The ghost gave a big laugh and disappeared. So sometimes I think if ghost comes, just ask the ghost, come sit down and meditate with me. Then all ghosts will run away. I remember when I was in Hollywood, I got a telephone call. Somebody said, Swami, there is a ghost in my room. What shall I do? Uncle, repeat the name of Rama, Ram. Then the ghost will run away. Then the Mahatma Gandhi used to repeat Ram. He had tremendous fear of ghosts. That is the way he conquered fear. So I told that person that, oh Swami, that mantra is very small. I need a big mantra, otherwise the ghost will not go. Uncle, I do not know any other mantra. But you see, I have another problem. If it is a Hindu ghost, it may go away. But if the ghost is a Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, I do not know. My mantra may not work. You find out. Love also conquers fear. Love conquers everything. Here is a mother walking through the street. A bull was running toward her, and she ran away and entered somebody's house to protect herself. Another time, the same mother, same woman, took her child to the zoo. A lion came out from the cage and attacked the child. This woman jumped into the mouth of a lion and tried to snatch away the child from the lion. See? There she was running away from the bull, and here she jumped in the mouth of a lion because of love. Love conquers fear. I still remember in late 1940s, my elder brother had tuberculosis. There is nobody to nurse him. My mother went for a year and a half in Calcutta from our village to nurse my brother. Of course, later on he had surgery and he survived. At that time, there was no medicine for TB in 47, 48. Sometimes good comes out of evil. Peace comes at the end of the war. Calamities can bring growth and enlightenment. The story goes, a bird which sheltered in the withered branches of a tree that stood in the middle of a vast deserted plain. One day, a whirlwind uprooted the tree, forcing the poor bird to fly 100 miles in search of a shelter, till it finally came to a forest of fruit-laden trees. It happens. Sometimes bad things, good. allergy. I was thinking about my early life. I was 14 years old. We had to leave our home. We migrated from our East Bengal to Calcutta, 14th April 1950. 21st April 1950. We lost everything, home, our property, money, everything we lost. But we became refugees, we had nothing. Later on, of course, we had home in Calcutta, near Calcutta. We went to school, college. Because we left home, I came in contact with the Ramakrishna order and monks. And my brother introduced me with the Swamis in Udbodhan. And I got a chance to join the monastery. See, if we are not leave home, I could not be a monk, perhaps. Lord knows it is very inscrutable, these kinds of things. What good will come from this corona, we do not know. Now there will be another problem, loneliness. Many people live alone. Accept this aloneness as God's gift. But don't be lonely. Occupy yourself. Engage yourself with the routine. Do exercise, eat, study, meditate, pray, watch something humorous shows, and just make life interesting, that's all. Once a disciple was asking all his answers. The Guru said, you have within yourself the answers to every question you propose. If you only knew how to work for it. In the land of spirit, you cannot walk by the light of someone else's lamp. You want to borrow mine, I would rather teach you how to make your own. This journey, spiritual journey, is alone to alone. If you eat food, that will appease your hunger, but not my stomach. I'll have to eat my own food. It is extremely important. It is a journey from alone to alone. Don't feel lonely. Sometimes loneliness is very painful. বন্ধুহীনের জীবন বড়ই দুঃখপূর্ণ. If you do not have a good friend, it is very painful. Have good friends. If you do not find any, make God your friend. Tameva bandhusya sakha tameva. Lord, you are my friend. You are my companion. Make Lord your companion, your friend. Communicate with him. Pray to him. As I say, prayer is a dialogue between God and man. It works. Those who do not have a spiritual background, this period will be very critical period for them, I tell you. They see that I am alone in my apartment, I have no friends, no relatives now. As I say, the creature, the Prajapati was afraid when he was alone. This fear will enter. Someone suggested, don't write email, just give a call, talk over the phone, which is better. How can I get rid of this misery, fear of misery? Give up desire. Misery cannot torment a person who has no desire. If you blow the space, it does not hurt. Take a misery as your teacher. Then fear will go away. At least you will get consolation that it is due to prarabdha, momentum, the result of my action, that I am going through this situation. Those who have faith in God, they can feel that God is testing me. Look, read the last part of the second chapter of the Gita, where Krishna talks about the man of stage wisdom. Dukkheshu anudvignamana, sukheshu vigata spriya, vito raga bhaya krodha, sthitadir muniruchyate. Dukkheshu anudvignamana is unperturbed when misery comes. Sukheshu vigata spriya, he has no desire for enjoyment, for happiness. He is free from attachment, vito raga, free from bhaya, free from fear, bhaya krodha, free from wrath, anger. That person is sthitadi. His intellect is steady. He is a man of illumination. That section will make us bold, strong. Read the Gita. Krishna says to Arjuna, don't give up this unmanliness. It doesn't befit you. Arise. Get up. I always repeat this mantra. It is an antidote of depression. Those who are lonely, it works for them. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadait atmaiva atmana bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. Raise yourself by yourself. Your disciplined mind is your friend. Your indisciplined mind, your enemy. Don't yield to depression. Study Vedantic scriptures or the books of the mystics. That will give you tremendous boost inside. It will remove fear from your mind. We've read the book of Job in the Old Testament. His wife, children, family, all are dead. Money gone. He got very, very bad disease. One day he cried out, Lord, why this to me? Then God appeared before Job and said, forbear, forbear. Why? Who are you to judge me? Do not judge. God sometimes tests us. It is a testing period. Sometimes misery are angels unawares. Perhaps you know the sculptor. Here is a big piece of stone. He takes the chisel and the hammer and he makes a beautiful image of Krishna or Jesus or Rama. Just a big piece of rock. But how many times he hit with the chisel and hammer, we do not know. So similarly, and beautiful image comes. So these trials and tribulations, this misery, suffering, are hitting us all the time. And then that self-luminous Brahman, Atman will manifest. This misery will convince us the impermanency of the world, impermanence of human life. Happiness and misery both come. An old man came to a monk and said, I am afraid of death. The monk said, destroy the source of the fear. But the source of the fear is in the human body. Then shall I destroy my body? The monk said, you are not the body, you are the Atman. Destroy the body idea. How can I destroy the body idea? The old answer, self-knowledge. How to have that self-knowledge? That is the question. Well, read the Vedantic teachings. Read Swamiji's Jnana Yoga. You will know. A time always comes in human life that we must prepare ourselves for death. I sometimes think about myself. Well, how shall I prepare myself for death? Then a scene comes to my mind from the Bhagavatam. Parikshit, the grandson of Arjuna, was cursed by a sage that he will die within 7 days from snake bite. And he knew that the curse is inevitable. It will come. I have only 7 days' time. What to do? He built a fort near Hardwar on the bank of the Ganges. He invited all the sages and saints and rishis. He invited them and asked them, I need a person who can talk to me 7 days, 7 nights, non-stop about God. Is there anybody here? At that time, there was only one person, Shukadeva, the son of Basha. He recited the Bhagavatam, 24,000 verses in 7 days. When the Takshaka, this great serpent, came hiding itself inside a fruit, it bit the king, Parikshit. Parikshit died. But before death, his mind was merged in God, Krishna. That is a glorious death. That is the way I think. We must prepare ourselves sometimes. Don't be attached to the family and money and all other things. You will have to go. Before you die, clear all these things. You take care of yourself. Otherwise, do you know what will happen? I have seen some people, tug of war goes. The death pulls one side and the family takes another side. That man is like this, tug. No good. Prepare yourself. Somebody asked Mahatma Gandhi, Gandhiji, have you conquered death? He replied, I cannot tell you right now, but at the time of death I shall tell you. When you were shot, assassinated in Delhi in 1948, when the bullet entered through his heart, only 2 words came from his lips, He Ram. He Ram, O Lord. If you go to Gandhi Ghat in Delhi, you will find that big marble slab. In the front it is written, He Ram, O God. He conquered the fear of death. Jivan Mukta, those who are illumined souls, ever-free souls, they have no fear of death. Na priya pri sprishata, happiness, misery, fear, nothing can touch them. They move in this world fearlessly. Fear. I shall read a passage from Swami Vivekananda's Talks with Swami Vivekananda, recorded by Sharat Chandra Chakraborty. Then you will get some ideas that how a illumined soul, Jivan Mukta, live in this world. Sharat Chandra Chakraborty recorded. Nayam Atma Baluhine, Swamiji is talking. Nayam Atma Baluhine na laibhyu. Atman is not to be gained, attained by the weak. If there is no strength in body and mind, the Atman cannot be realized. First, you have to build the body by good nutritious food. Then only will the mind be strong. The mind is but the subtle part of the body. You must retain greater strength in your mind and words. I am low, repeating these ideas in the mind, man belittles and degrades himself. Therefore, the scriptures say, he who thinks himself free, free he becomes. He who thinks himself bound, bound he remains. This popular saying is true. As one thinks, so one becomes. He alone, who is always awake to the idea of freedom, becomes free. He who thinks he is bound endures life after life in the state of bondage. It is a fact. This truth holds good both in spiritual and temporal matters. Those who are always downhearted and dispirited in this life can do no work. From life to life, they come and go, wailing and moaning. The earth is enjoyed by heroes. This is the unfailing truth. Be a hero. Always say, I have no fear. Tell this to everybody. Have no fear. Fear is death. Fear is sin. Fear is hell. Fear is unrighteousness. Fear is wrong life. All the negative thoughts and ideas that are in this world have proceeded from this evil spirit of fear. This fear alone has kept the sun, air, and death in their respective places and functions, allowing none to escape from its bounds. Therefore, the scripture says, through fear of this fire burns, the sun heats. Through fear, Indra, Vayu, and are carrying on their functions, and death stalks upon this earth. When the gods Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varuna will attain to fearlessness, then will they be one with that Brahman, and all this phantasm of the world will vanish. Therefore I say, be fearless. Be fearless. Ovi. Swamiji, in saying these words, appeared in the eyes of the disciple like the very embodiment of fearlessness. And he thought how in his presence even the fear of death leaves one and vanishes into nothingness. That is the experience Sharat Babu had. Swamiji continued. In this embodied existence, you will be tossed again and again on the waves of happiness and misery, prosperity and adversity. But know them all to be of momentary duration. Never care for them. I am the birthless, the deathless Atman, whose nature is intelligence. Implanting this idea firmly in your heart, you should pass the days of your life. I have no birth, no death. I am the Atman, untouched by anything. Lose yourself completely in the idea. If you can once become one with this idea, then in the hour of sorrow and tribulation, it will rise of itself in your mind. And you will not have to strive with difficulty to bring it up. Look, the other day I was guest of Priyanath Mukherjee at Baidyanath. There I had such a spell of asthma that I felt like dying. But from within, with every breath, arose the deep toned sound, I am he, Shoham, Shoham. Resting on the pillow, I was waiting for the vital breath to depart, and observing all the time that from within was being heard the sound of I am he, Shoham, Shoham. I could hear all along, Ekam eva dvayam brahma neho nanasti kinchana. The Brahman, the one without a second, alone exists. Nothing manifold exists in the world. The disciple, stuck with the management, said, Sir, talking with you and listening to your realizations, I feel no necessity for the study of the scriptures. When we read Swamiji's lecture, there I end. When we find Swamiji's lectures from Colombo to Almora, he awakened a national consciousness through these fiery messages of Vedanta. Obi, Obi, be fearless, be fearless. May the Lord make us fearless. We shall be able to get rid of this fear of Corona by the grace of Lord. Thank you. Masatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mritturma amritam gamaya, abiravirma yethi, rudrajatte dakshinam mukham, tenamam pahi nityam, om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.